Welcome back to Where Clarets Walk. There's only one thing dominating Burnley social media, and that is just when are we going to get that corner flag photograph? 2-1 up against Spurs, and we sat back only for them to equalise. Burnley fans have had enough. But is he to blame for that Spurs result? Jordan and others think not. We're going to get into that on this particular episode of Where Clarets Walk. Hope you're doing well. Also coming up this week, we're talking about who's been the best ever Burnley manager in our lifetime in terms of attractive football. And also we're doing our A to Z, the letter M. Plus transfer windows closing on Monday. Who or what do we expect to see through the door? Lots to get through. Apologies if you're looking for us last week. I've had the man flu, so we couldn't get to talk about that amazing result at Anfield, unfortunately. But we will bring it up in this week's episode, because what a great result that was. Right, Jordan, let's start with you. You have a view that Parker shouldn't be blamed for that Spurs result.
All right, I want to clear something up. I'm not Parkering by any stretch of the imagination, but yesterday was not his fault. You can't blame his fault. He took our team from being 1-0 down to 2-1 up, and the abysmal refereeing is what caused that second goal. How many fouls should we have had up to lead up to that goal? What, three clear fouls? Even Christian Walumo, who can't stand us on comms, he were giving it. Come on, that's the third nailed on foul, is it not? And then they score. So if that hadn't have been the reasoning, if it had been a bit of a tougher ref, a bit of somebody, with something between his legs to stop the game and say no, that's wrong, that goal would have never have gone in, and we'd be having a very different conversation. It'd be our first winning however many. So I'm not Parkering by any stretch of the imagination, but that wasn't fully on him because his subs worked. He brought Foster on. He put us 2-1 up. He realised Brozier wasn't doing the job. I don't think you can blame him.
Okay. Lots of social media would disagree. Kenneth says, Burnley have now gone 14 games without a single victory. Is it so hard for the board to understand that the problem, I'm not sure about this next bit, the virus, the mess, is named Scott Parker? Get rid of him. Dan, they're not going to, are they? Let's be frank. We're going to be sat here after the Sunderland game with him still in charge, aren't we?
Yeah, 100%. He'll see the season out, and he'll probably be in charge next season when we've gone down. The reason being, and I was having this discussion with a few people, in that when we went down under Company played it at a brand of football which was attractive. He just didn't have the players that made it work. And then he's gone to Bayern Munich, and he's got the players who make it work. He's now crushing it. He's won the league. I think he's gone. His first defeat was this weekend, weirdly. And now he's, romping home in the Champions League. With Parker, he hasn't got that attractiveness to him. He's playing a style of football which is kind of damage limitation all the time. It's not an attractive game, but they will stay with him because he'll probably win the Championship next season, and he'll bring us back up, and then we'll have another go at it. We're not getting humiliated in games. We're in them. We're fighting in them. So I'm not getting rid of him. I can't see any reason why. There is a reason. Your man's just said it in his tweet, 14 games without a win. I think I saw another stat today saying in 70-odd games he's had in the Premier League, he's won 12. How is this man still a manager of a Premier League football club? But to, kind of see where Jordan's coming from, we've just played Liverpool away, United, and then Spurs, and we've taken a point off each. It's difficult to then go and sack a guy who's just had that. But then he's saying that if you've won none in 14, how can we stick with him? We're going down. I don't know what people, you can try. Statistically, we're not there, but we are. But they'll never get rid of him, unless we go down and then he has a bad season next season and we're mid-table. That's the only time they'll get rid of him.
Can I just say I'm talking incidentally, though, just for that game. You can't blame for that game. Everything beyond that, put it on him, not his fault. But that game, he got it right. That's just the way I see it.
You've not been battered, have you, this season? Let's be honest. There's not a single point we can look at where you think, yeah, that was absolutely shocking. Even Arsenal games and so on. Connor Sorkin says, "Who could have guessed that laying off them and releasing all the pressure on them would have led to them equalising? It's not like this has happened every single time we go 1-0 up. He has to go now. I don't want to watch Burnley under him in the Championship again. Parker out." That point, Connor, about the discipline of holding on to leads has happened before. Do you share people's woes of sitting back is what's costing you these points?
Yeah, it's frustrating because we showed good fight to get to 2-1. I thought that was brilliant, and that we should have been doing that from the first minute till the end. There was about a 2-minute period where it looked like we were going to get a third and kill it off, but then no. Why would we do such a thing? Get back and stay back, whatever. It's starting to get on my nerves. Well, it has always been getting on my nerves. But you even look at Man United, 2-2 coming to the last 5 minutes, and Oliver Son's trying to keep it in corner, and it's like, I understand it's Man United, big point, whatever, but the draws now are just as useless as losses, in my opinion. And I don't think, although a draw away at Anfield's good, I think we've got to start beating these teams at home now. And it's too negative for me. Too negative.
Yeah, I mean, the gap is 10 points now, Connor, because of Forest. I mean, Forest and West Ham winning this weekend hasn't really helped your cause. Do you see any way out of it?
No, plain and simply no. And I can't say anything else. No.
Jordan Todd Claret says, awful against any other team would have battered us today. 5 at the back again, it's not working again. Playing not to lose every week, absolutely depressing. I mean, is it 5 at the back? I mean, I've seen some saying it's not actually 5 at the back. He's not playing that. It's disrespectful to even suggest he is.
No, it isn't a 5 at the back. I'm sick of seeing this. Some people see a right wing back and a left wing back and automatically assume he's gone 5 at the back. If you looked at the lineup, he had 3 at the back with 3 centre backs. He played Walker as a right wing back. He played Lucas Perez as a left wing back, which I must give grace to because he plays much better as a left wing back as opposed to a left back because he can't defend. He did it quite well yesterday, though, to get off his back a bit. No, I think people look at things with this tunnel vision and they don't see the wider thing of it. That team could go into every single game now. We've all just said that, oh, look, we're down, we're gone, we're buried, finished. And that team could go into every single game now and go, well, what's the point? Everyone else is giving up, why don't we? But they don't. So could we not give them a bit more plaudits for taking Tottenham, who were Europa winning side, not last season before, right to the death of it, where, the talent they've got across the pitch. They've got more talent in the front three than we have more money in their front three than we do our entire team. It's more the plaudits thing. People have got way too used to this. People forget who we are as Burnley. We were, surviving in League One not 20 years ago. Look at where we are now. We're fighting in the Premier League. It's not brilliant. I get that. People take their hard-earned money, they go and spend it, they watch the game of football, when they come away really disappointed. I get that. But you've got to stop, having these really high expectations of a club. We aren't that. So just be happy with what we've got. The fiddlers down the road are going into League One. I take solace in that. Do you know what I mean? We're in the Premier League and they're there. Let's just enjoy the times we've got before it completely vice versa.
I think the one thing that we have seen in these last 3 games, which we had all last season but has been missing, and I think Parker's given himself a few games grace, dependent on the next few results, is that there was that effort and desire that we saw. Remember QPR last year away. They broke their one man in our half and no other players. And about 5 seconds later, with 7 Burnley defenders behind him. It's been all over social media. It was a beautiful thing to see. These last few games, you've seen that more that desire. When Dubravka made a double save yesterday, he gets up, he's punching the air, he's screaming the crowd out, people going around L5 in him. When Humphries cleared off the line against Liverpool or United, one of the two. Again, there was that passion, that was that drive, which has been missing. You saw us against Brighton; it was just gone. They were flat. They didn't have any fight. They didn't care. They didn't really, seem to have much motivation. So I don't know what's changed in these last 3 games. And far from we're not here hoping and wishing Burnley go down. I hope, beyond all hope, the next 5 games he wins them all, and then we're in the relegation battle and we survive, and then we're all holding our hands up saying Scott Parker is king, like we were last year. I just don't see it. I just think he's not good enough. I think the players aren't good enough. So I appreciate it. We should get on there. Yes, sorry, go on.
Are the players better than last time you were in the Premier League, though?
Yes.
I'd say so.
1,000%.
And is the Premier League not weaker than the last time you were in it?
That's what I'm saying. So surely we should be getting a better tune out of this team.
Yeah. That's what people are arguing, saying you've got a weaker Premier League, we've got a stronger set of players than we heard last time. So those two together, we should be doing better than what we are.
I wouldn't say the Premier League has got weaker. I really wouldn't. No? I think it's progressing that fast for what the standard of the Premier League is. A subpar player now who used to look like. Let's just pull a name out the air. Let's take an Oxlade-Chamberlain. If he was in his prime today, he wouldn't be sung about the same way he was all them years ago because that standard is so much higher. You get these absolute nobodies come out of nowhere that then just connect to the Premier League like that. And, and they said that, look at Munoz. No one knew who he were. He did one season at Palace. Everyone knows who he is. I think that, the bracket between Championship and Premier League is so astronomical now that, we've improved as a team, but nowhere near as fast as the Premier League's improved. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter.
You see, I think it's kind of a hybrid situation. I think the quality in the Premier League isn't. It is right to say it's a weaker Premier League. I agree with that statement. That being said, the level is still higher than that of the Championship. And what the difficulty comes now is because instead of having your Elite Six who just beat everybody, everybody's beating everybody. So in a perverse way, it's more difficult to stay up because you've got Bournemouth smashing Liverpool. You've got, teams beating these higher level teams, which means that the points to stay safe actually grows. So I think this season you're going to need, I don't know. I mean, to get up there, you're probably going to need nearer 40. The last few seasons, it's been like 32, 33. I think.
But that's what I'm saying about the standard. The standard is raised massively. Yeah. You've now got a Brentford that you know.
When people say it's weaker, it's because teams are beating each other. So
that's what I'm saying. So in that turn, the standard has gone up. You can't look at an Aka now and go, oh yeah, Liverpool beating Brentford. That's a nailed on Liverpool when you can't do that anymore because you don't know.
Connor, the transfer window slams shut just as you be walking into the Stadium of Light next Monday night. What do you expect to happen, or what should happen between now and then?
I can't see much happening, and the only rumours I've seen is Ward-Prowse and former Sunderland Tommy Watson for 10 million. Like, he's going to be the answer to our problems. I think he's very overrated, but we won't get into that topic. I don't think much is going to happen. I'd love to see us sign a striker, but I know that's not going to happen. I'd love to just see us sign anybody, but it seems like that's just not going to happen. I get there were a couple of late deals under company in the Premier League with Asen, Jorn and Esteve and these lot, but honestly, I can probably only see him Ward-Prowse, but then again, his wages will be through the roof, but we're getting a good player there. But I can't see anything happening.
What's the absolute priority, Jordan?
Most people would say a goal scorer. I disagree. I think we have two on the we don't have two on the bench. One of them's injured in Fleming. I'd say a creative player. I think somebody good from dead ball situations. I think James Ward-Prowse, maybe he's not as good as he used to be, but he might answer that question. So it's got to be that and another out and out defender. That's why I saw that link with Taylor Harwood-Bellis. I were over the moon with that because I know he'll come and he'll fight for that badge. I've seen him do it before. I know he'll do it again.
Dan, any other rumours you're hearing?
No, there's a young lad who's at Brighton, but he's a young winger who's only 19. Is that Tommy Watts? Is that him? Yeah. Aside from that, it's just speculation. There's a few out the door. I think Benson's coming back. I don't think Swansea like him, but and Koleosha's gone to Paris FC. So there's more outgoings than incomings. But I agree. I think we need a creative midfielder, and I'll tell you this for why. Because on Saturday, you saw there was a few times Foster was running and making these breaks, and had a decent ball been played to him, it'd have been clean through 3 or 4 times, but we just couldn't find that pass. And I think that's what we need. I know you want a striker to get 10 goals, but you can't buy that. But I think if we can get someone, and Ward-Prowse might be it, you don't know.
I thought they were a gamble on that Troy Parrott, that Irish lad. I thought it'd been a serious good gamble, but I ain't seen anyone sniff around him, let alone us. He what, sorry?
Is he Championship?
No, he plays at Altmore.
Fantastic.
Good player.
Yeah.
Sunderland is their next. They haven't lost at home. They're the only side that haven't now lost at home, of course, in one of all the top leagues of Europe. You beat them though, Turf Moor, early on in the season. Are you surprised, Connor, how well they've done?
Pretty 50-50 because I thought one side of it, they spent a lot of money on top players, so I can obviously see why they've done it there. On the other hand, I thought they changed their promotion team too much, but then again, I don't think that promotion team was necessarily good enough. I'd do anything to have what they have right now. I'd do absolutely anything, but
I mean, 100, they've spent 100 million odd pounds to stay in the division. I mean, is that the blueprint going forward, Connor? That's Ipswich spent that much and went down, and Sunderland spent that much and look like they're staying up. So it's not a guarantee, is it? But do you think that's the way we're heading now? That for teams to stay up, you've got to spend that amount of money?
Well, I'm pretty sure we've spent like 120 million, and I'm struggling to see what sort of talent we've signed that's on par with Sunderland, aside from players like maybe Ugo Chukwu, Florentino. But the recruitment team needs looking at because, granted, yes, we did say it was a good window, whatever. But you look in comparison to Sunderland, who have spent a lot, and all these other teams that have spent a lot or close to where we have, they've signed significantly better players for cheaper. And I don't know how we've managed it.
Right, Sunderland 0, Burnley 1. Here we come next Monday night. Now, if you we'll be doing our live reaction to that game next Monday, so join us on the channel for that. Unless any of you are travelling to the Stadium of Light, of course, then you'll be a live reaction from the coach home, of course, as well. So join us for that if you would. We're up to letter M in our A to Z, moving things on, and that's meant we're looking at managers, beginning with M, of course, as well. Who's been the best manager in terms of the style of play that we've enjoyed watching the most? So whilst the most successful one is Dyche, I'm sure you will all say, is there anybody that you've actually enjoyed watching more? Dan, kick this off for us.
Yeah, there's been a few managers. I think I'll leave some of the more recent ones for these boys because I'm the old head here. But going back into the early 90s, Jimmy Mullen, he was 2 promotions with us. It was exciting football. It's a bit kick and rush, but it was great to watch. And I think also Eddie Howe, he's gone on to manage Newcastle. I think the excitement that he brought, you were winning 4-3 or 6-5 or whatever. There are better, and I'm sure these two will tell you. One of them we've already mentioned earlier, but I like those two.
Okay. Jordan?
I'm going to say Brian Laws. I loved everything. I'm joking. He were atrocious with Brian Laws. I don't know. I want to go a bit more out there. If you want to say style of football, it's got to be company, haven't you? Because you've got to say that season we had. But I'd like to throw in a little curveball there. I enjoyed watching football when Mark Jackson had the reins because we were in a proper dogfight. And I remember really enjoying that little period. We can take a full season with company. We can take a full season with Parker, whatever. I remember that little period of giving me that belief that, oh my God, we're staying up. I really enjoyed that under Jackson.
Okay. Connor?
Besides from the obvious Scott Parker, because he plays such positive attacking brand, it's going to have to be company because these two have already said the good ones. So yeah, I'll say company. I don't really like him.
There is one more, and I'm going to say his name because we've never mentioned him on here. We really should have done when we done C. And he's hated almost by everybody, but he gave us the best season.
This is why I didn't mention him.
Well, he gave us the best season we ever had. We got to the quarterfinals, semi-finals of a cup. We got promotion, playoffs, all that was Owen Coyle, right? As much as you want to hate on him, he gave us one of our best seasons for ages.
Absolute Judas. I would never put him in a top tier for us. What a Judas. I don't care how good his football.
You tell me you didn't enjoy that. I mean, Connor weren't born, but the rest of you don't, tell us. Okay. You didn't enjoy that season. That were a belter.
Okay. Let us know in the comments. Next week, we're going to look at the worst ever manager that you've... The manager that made you question your allegiance to this fantastic club that you couldn't stand watching. So let us know... Somebody said Scott Parker. Let us know in the comments, please, who that was for you in your lifetime. Right, letter M then. Let's crack on. Who's got a good one for this?
I've got the best one. The best one.
Okay. Should we leave you to last then, Jordan? Connor?
I'm going to say, you won't know it, Mark, but these two should, and if they don't, they need a smack round the face. It's the Miners pub. It's a local pub. Yeah.
He's been in it.
I've been there. Yeah. I was introduced to it last for the Everton game. Yeah.
He had a Benny out there.
Miners pub, right? That's okay. Dan?
I've got a couple. D-Marnick. Is one everyone knows. There's an old mid-90s gold. His nickname was Tin Man, Ted McMahon. He was a good one. Older than that, going back, Willie Morgan. There's a few. There's one obvious one, which I'm sure Jordan's going to tell us all, which I think we should put him in. But those are just a few names of M's, which were, cult heroes, decent players.
Okay. Go on, John.
And the right answer is Jimmy McElroy. He can't not be the man that's going in at that.
Okay. Yeah.
You also had Ben Mee as well. Sorry, there was Ben Mee in there as well.
Okay. Oh, what a good point. What a good point.
Brilliant. Right, we'll put Jordan's in then, unless anyone in the comments has got those strong objections or can think of any others. Right, you lot, good luck against Sunderland then. We'll catch you live straight after that game, if that's okay, on Monday night, where we'll get our reaction to, hopefully, 3 points and the first team to put Sunderland to the sword at home. Catch you then. Thanks for watching.